Today I thought I would do a little focus work. So when you are back in the gym or when you're working out at home, what can we do without any equipment? And what comes to mind and what, because of the historical nature of aggressive, hard contest challenges, what's today? Planks. And the reason why I chose planks is because anybody can do a plank, no matter what your physical nature is. And why I say that anyone can do a plank is because we have options. We have the wall, we have chairs, we have countertops. So we have to break out of our mindset that planks have to be aggressive, held for a long time, and in a certain position, because there are so many different ways that we can train our body and activate muscles, and especially when so much energy is put into our core and what that looks like. So I personally try not to follow people who are showing off their bodies online. It's just a personal preference for myself. I don't choose to focus on this section as being, oh, if you can see these muscles, you must be strong, because that's not necessarily the case with everybody's different body compositions. So that's my statement for the day. So core muscles, I want you to think head to toe, because when we are doing a plank, it is not just these muscles. Yes, that is the focus, to try to keep them strong, and I'll tell you why in a second. So I've broken it down to why, what, how often, and options. And because sometimes knowing why and what we're doing helps our body connect, so we can just be a little bit more efficient in our work. So I am all about power and efficiency, not aggressive, and try not to let because if you can't do an exercise aggressively, well, then you might as well just not do it at all. I am over that. So planks, why do we do them? And I'm going to keep looking at my notes. They are intended to strengthen the core muscles. Core muscles are everything head to toe, front and back. Abs help stabilize our chest, because if we don't have strong abs, look what happens. Our posture folds forward. So the chest is incorporated, and it helps stabilize our shoulder blades, because if we don't have strong shoulder blades and they aren't put in place, this helps exacerbate the issue of not having a strong core. So take a look at your posture, not just working on these muscles, but how are we going to get there? And I want you to think of it from the top and the bottom. So chest and pelvis is going to be where the plank is focused, but with help from other areas. The quads are going to be tight. What? Quads? Yep. And with you pressing your toes into the floor, your quads will tighten. It helps that you don't compress that low back, because if your quads are tight, which I'll show you, then everything kind of falls apart. The scapula gets stabilized, so the shoulder blades are also, so think of part of the help of the work is going to be from the quads and the shoulder blades. So how do we do this? You want to maintain a straight back, so also called neutral spine. Neutral spine, believe it or not, is not here where it's completely straight. That is straight back syndrome. We have natural hills and valleys that are built into our body in order for us to maintain neutral spine. So try not to think of neutral spine as being straight, but keeping the integrity of those hills and valleys. The back of our head is a hill, the neck is a valley, our shoulders are a hill, our low back is a valley. So you actually want to keep some curvature in there. Over time, we have lost that curve. because we're always being told to tuck, 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 okay? And what that does is it shortens here and lengthens back there. So, does that make sense? How often should we plank? You can plank a couple times a day. You can plank a couple times a week. And as we move into this, I'm going to show you the traditional plank today, and then I will add on the side plank and all the variations throughout the week. So, options: incline with a ball, plank on a ball, and hand raises. You can do them on your knees, and you can do front reaches too. I'm just checking my list just to make sure I get everything. Okay, so let's start with, I forgot one thing, and I want to show you what neutral spine means. And I was trying to think of how I could possibly do this by myself, but here's how I'm going to do it. So, with this balance beam, I want you to see what neutral spine means. So, without having a person here to help me, it goes on your sacrum, it goes on the back of your head and your shoulder blades. So, watch this. 3 points of contact. Back of the head, shoulders, and your sacrum. Okay? So, it should be in a straight line. I'll have to check that out. In order to maintain that stability. Okay, so, incline. I'm going to show you a couple of different options. And this is what I mean. You can do it against the wall. So, here would be an option. Okay, totally fine. Right there. You can also, if you have a stability ball, you can do this. Again, keep that incline. Forearms, neutral spine. All right, so how about if you want to continue with the stability ball, what happens here? Well, you can go right down on top of the ball. You can also put this against the wall. Check this out. So, here is challenging. You can go here on your forearms. But see how I'm using the wall to actually stabilize? Then, when you're feeling pretty safe, go not against the wall. Check it out. Can you see that ball moving around? Now your stabilizers are really working. And then, plank on the ball. And again, the ball is moving around. It's an unstable surface. Okay, so we got those options. How about the traditional plank? Traditional plank on a mat is what everybody focuses on. It's like the guy who held it for, I don't know, how many hours? Crazy, right? Well, you can hold a plank for a really long time, but you're probably not going to keep that integrity of the muscles that are intended. So, forearms. You want to be shoulders over your elbows. Your toes are pressing in because I want your quadriceps tight. Because what happens if your quads aren't tight, look at my low back. Low back sinks. You've got compression in that low back spine area. You want to hold that integrity. My quads are tight, so my checklist. Toes are pressing in. Quads are tight. My abdominal muscles, right here, I am pulling them in like that. I'm cinching them. And then I'm also pressing my fingertips into the floor with my forearms, and my shoulder blades are down into their back pockets. I don't love this plank option, this plank option. Look at how my body changes as soon as I've brought my arms closer together. The other thing is, you can have forearm planks. You can also have high planks with straight arms. Again, everything stays the same. My toes, quads, and then you can also add in reaches. And what you try to do with those, you try to keep your hips parallel to the floor so they're not rocking and rolling all over the place. That gets the lower abdominals. There is so much magic to a plank, and there is so much ruining that can be done with a plank too. So don't think aggressive. Think of it as powerful. It doesn't have to be done for a long time, because let me tell you, if you have a lot of muscle that you're activating, not just right here, 30 seconds is going to do you in with muscles from head to toe, toe to head. Just keep scanning your body. How do I feel? What's activated? What muscles am I using? I hope you can take something out of this plank, and that my balance beam wasn't too... I just don't have anybody that can help me. So, do the best you can do. Let me know if you need any more help, and I will have more plank options for us moving forward.